Let's move on to our second story, and this is the EA Access story. The subscription service launched exclusively on the Xbox One, to some people's surprise.
Finally, they got it right.
What was that? The service is already launched. It launched very quickly. They announced it and it launched on Xbox One. It initially includes FIFA 14, Madden NFL 25, Peggle 2, and Battlefield 4. The service will cost you $5 a month or $30 a year. You'll also gain access to the game vault that was previously mentioned, but also betas and trials, and finally 10% off all future EA titles, which I think is pretty awesome. Sony representative responded to the Xbox One exclusivity, saying, "We evaluated the EA Access subscription offering and decided that it does not bring the kind of value PlayStation customers have come to expect. PlayStation Plus members are up more than 200% since the launch of PlayStation 4, which shows that gamers are looking for memberships that offer a multitude of services across various devices for one low price. We don't think asking our fans to pay an additional $5 per month for this EA-specific program represents good value to the PlayStation gamer." All right, do you want to start with your thoughts on this?
I don't even want to talk about it.
You don't want to talk about it? You're so upset?
Yeah, I'm pissed.
All right, here's my thoughts on it. You guys can watch my video on YouTube also, which goes into probably even more detail.
Can we start a new segment?
What? Debates. I feel like we do that a lot.
That happens anyway.
It happens all the time.
All right, you're right.
Okay, here are my thoughts. Some people came out saying this was anti-consumer. Other people agreed with me. I think that from a business standpoint, this makes perfect sense for Sony. Why would they offer a subscription service which is in direct competition with PS Now and especially PlayStation Plus? The thing is, Sony's doing really well right now with the PS4. They don't really need to adopt this. And PlayStation Plus, as they said, is especially doing well for them, especially now that they put the online paywall up. So if they were to take on this EA Access service, the fear, I have a feeling on their part, is that, first of all, people aren't going to want to tie into multiple subscription services, but more so than that, forget this whole value thing, that's just PR. What they really are worried about is that EA will no longer offer games that they're putting on their game vault on PS Plus, or even smaller titles, anything. Betas, trials, discounts will no longer be PS Plus, they will instead be EA Access, and then PlayStation Plus loses the access of a very major AAA party, which would be detrimental to their service, which is doing so well. Now, Microsoft got a hold of this, but Microsoft's really not doing crazy well right now. Xbox Games with Gold, or whatever it's called, is not really taking off like crazy like it has with PlayStation Plus. So it makes a lot of sense for EA Access to really take hold on there, and it sounds like maybe even they developed it in collaboration. Like maybe this was, once Sony turned it down, maybe it was almost an assault on Sony in a way, where EA and Microsoft partied up to try and make a service that would combat PlayStation Plus.
Are you done?
I'm done. Do you have anything to say?
Is EA Access working in Canada?
All right. In Canada, I don't know actually.
Or is it US only? Because Ant is saying it's not available for him.
I honestly don't know if it's available in Canada.
Okay.
Here's my problem with that. Is it's almost what you said is almost counter what you said earlier. But regardless of all that, why? So let's just say that that's Sony's legitimate excuse that they don't want to, compete. They feel it's going to compete.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't actually compete. You can put in there, okay, well, listen, they have to have PS Plus in order to have this membership service. Okay, bam, that ruins that. B, what game from EA, a major title like FIFA, Madden, any of the major sports games have I gotten from EA on PS Plus for my PS4 or my PS3 recently?
None, because it's only been 8 months.
Bam. No, not even just a PS4, PS3.
Crisis is this month. Dead Space 3 was a month ago.
Okay.
That's in the last 2 months.
That's not the games that they're actually mainly focused on. They're mainly focusing on
those are big games that were released last gen.
Right, but they're mainly focusing on their big sports games, ones that I personally will go out
sports games from a year ago.
Right.
By the time
By
the time that the
Madden's
new sports
the
games
one.
comes out, people that play sports games, they want the new sports game.
Okay.
People that play Battlefield, they want the new Battlefield. So
well,
what they're doing, they're making it look like they're giving you great games when all they're doing is giving you the year-old model.
But there's no new Battlefield.
There's Battlefield Hardline.
No, that's not Battlefield. That's bullshit.
All right. You can say that all you want, but that's still Battlefield.
That's not Battlefield Hardline.
All right, that's your opinion on Battlefield.
No, it's most people's opinion on Hardline.
That's the new Battlefield.
People don't really want it. They're just gonna buy because it's in
Battlefield 4 sold 20-something million units. The people that wanted Battlefield, for the most part, got Battlefield.
Battlefield.
You're right.
Battlefield
so here's the thing.
I think Peggle 2 is the best game on there.
That's bullshit.
No, that's the game. That's
absolute bullshit.
That's the game that people don't buy. That when it goes live on PlayStation Plus or on a Games with Gold, they're like, oh, now I'll get this because it's free. I wanted to play this, but I wasn't willing to put down
I'm not
$50.
going to sit there and spend $60, $50, $40, $30 on a sports game. But if they give it to me for $5 a month or $30 a year, I will gladly pay them for that.
I would too.
Right.
I'm not saying
so,
but now PlayStation Plus could potentially get these titles.
But they won't.
You don't know that.
How did you reasonably are going to say EA's just going to cave in and be like, okay, you're right.
We have no idea what EA is going to do. EA might not offer PlayStation Plus games now in like a.
You're right, because Sony had to be hard-headed like a fucking douchebag.
But it doesn't matter. It still makes better sense for their service. Your point earlier that they should put it behind the paywall, again, that actually makes Sony look bad. Makes them look worse than this. Because then they're making people put something behind further a paywall. That was what people complain about Xbox One all the time. You got YouTube behind a paywall, Netflix,
but this
internet
is a
browsers.
different thing.
Sony is the guy that never does those things. And I haven't even touched on the final part of this. The worrying thing about this is fragmentation. That is the main worry about something like this. If we have every AAA party such as Ubisoft, Square Enix, Activision, EA, all making their own subscription service for $30 to $50 a year, that is going to destroy the market. That will be terrible. That we have to subscribe to all these different services in order to get the games for free or anything. We don't even know what EA is going to do with this yet. Let's say they put online behind it. That's not a surprise considering it's EA. What if they put games for their first month on release, you can only get them through EA Access. Betas, DLC, everything behind the wall, that would be terrible. Do you agree?
Do I agree it would be terrible? Yes.
Which one is Dad?
Mom, Dad, please stop fighting.
I'm sorry, but in a year, this is why it works for Sony. In a year, if this turns out to be an awesome service, all Sony's got to say is, okay, sorry guys, you guys have access to this. People will be like, oh, Sony, it sucks for you. And then everyone will forget in a month. And now they have access to the service, everyone's happy, and Sony got the opportunity to let EA potentially fail with this, which hopefully it does, to be honest. Because I know that EA will take advantage of consumers if this takes off. And then Ubisoft will follow suit, and then Activision will follow suit. That's my opinion. All right, I'm done. Sorry.
Steve says he agrees with Andrew.
It's 50-50. I'll be honest with you. NeoGAF has a 75-page topic on this, and it's very split. There's plenty of people that agree with Mike. There's plenty of people that agree with me. All right, I think we got our opinions out of the
Paper, scissors, lizard, Spock.
You guys upset your family.
I'm sorry. Oh, you were them.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're done. We don't have to do the rant later now. It's done.
Mike's mad.
I don't agree in any way, shape, or form.
That's fine. We don't have to agree with that.
Well, there is the potential. I mean, it could work. It could work, but it's EA, so it probably won't be done well.
And the games right now just aren't good. If the Vault becomes like a 12-game thing later on, then that's awesome.
But here's my problem. You were just
suggestion
completely
is that,
saying
like, EA is allegedly going to be putting like newer titles up there. It's not going to be like
Right.
a PS Plus thing where
Right.
you're getting
The
titles
one
that
talk
came out
was,
over
Dragon
a year
Age
ago.
Inquisition.
It's like, okay, well, what happens if they do put like Battlefield 4 up there and games that have been released like in the last 6 months?
The question we also need
you don't have to pay $60.
The question we need to ask as well is, what does this vault mean? Does it mean these are the games for this entire year, or are they going to change this out every month? Is the vault going to grow and they just keep adding onto it? Those are the kind of things we don't know yet, and stuff that probably Sony did know. That's the thing, is we have to wait and see what the service is going to be before we can really criticize anybody. And that's why I think that Sony made the smart decision, because now the ball's in their court, and they can be like, hey EA, you're doing really well with this, and I doubt EA is going to be like, boo-hoo on you, you hurt our feelings, we're not going to let you have EA access. They're going to be like, okay, give us your money, Sony, you can now have EA access.